Many friends have asked questions about meditation and spiritual evolution. The crux of the issue is they are very keen to meditate. They have tried many techniques, but the mind, the thoughts do not stabilize at all. Some friends have said they are meditating for decades, but after a stage there is just no progress at all. Let me say at the outset, whatever you think most of the time, same thoughts will dominate when you sit quiet for meditation. If you don't live in spiritual awareness most of the time, you can't expect any wonders during your meditation session. Spiritual awareness is more or less a continuous process. Now, what is the way so that you go on doing your necessary tasks, duties, and still remain in spiritual harmony, spiritual awareness all the time? One way is perform any action without getting involved into it. Lord Krishna himself explained Karma Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Action for the sake of action. No feeling of I or me in the action. Action to be in the best possible manner. Action to be morally right. And finally, renouncing the result of the action. Such action does not bind the doer in any manner. Naturally, such action does not affect your mind either. Another way is understand your reality as Atma, distinctly separate from the body and the mind. The actions are being performed by the body and the mind, and you are just a witness. This way you remain aware of your inner self all the time, while various ordained duties, day-to-day activities are being performed. In yogic terminology, this is called Pratyahar, withdrawal from the senses. We will attempt a practical on this, how to do this. Carefully note what your eyes are seeing. Become aware. Now my eyes are watching the wall of the room. Now my eyes are seeing the chair on which I am sitting. Now eyes are seeing the light falling from the window, and so on. You will experience that by and by you distance yourself from your eyes. You witness that your eyes are watching things. Now this, now this. This way, you separate yourself from the perception of seeing. Similarly, focus and witness every subtle sound entering your ears. Gradually, you become witness to the hearing perception. Similarly, practice with the senses of touch, smell, and taste. Interestingly, when you begin to witness senses and the body, you begin to witness your thoughts also. You become aware how thoughts are coming and going. Just like a small particle in the quantum physics, when the mind is under watch, its behavior undergoes a change. It tends to lose its restlessness and it becomes stable. Further, you get a feeling that you exist even without body. Next step is connection with God. Spiritual realm is about Atma and Parmatma, the Spirit and God. If you keep obsessed only with yourself, my body, my mind, my consciousness, you will soon reach a dead end. In order to progress further, you need to consciously establish connection with the divine dimension. Focus one-pointed on contemplation of God, Satchidanand, truth absolute, existence absolute, bliss absolute. God was always there, will always be there. God exists everywhere, in galaxies, in constellation of stars, in each living being, each element, each atom, and finally in me also. Now, a very important requirement of conduct. We said God is truth absolute, existence absolute. You also need to be absolutely truthful. So, the first and the foremost requirement to be eligible for entry into spiritual dimension is being truthful. 2. No stealing, no hidden agenda, no corruption. 3. No killing, no suffering to any living being. 4. Moderation in necessities and comforts. Why the conduct is so important? Well, the Creator designed a very powerful surveillance within us to help us remain on the path of goodness. The surveillance system records every action, every thought. Also, it gives signal whenever we go wrong. You can hide things from the whole world, but you can't hide anything from your own self. Supposing you tell a lie or have some hidden agenda, your own conscience will give you signal that you have done wrong. If there is no signal, it means you are so habitual of lies and double standards that your conscience itself has lost its sensitivity and it has gone dormant. When you put any living being to any suffering, your conscience repels it, which eventually results into guilt and brings suffering to yourself. Too much indulgence in food, sex, luxuries creates a sort of obsession in which body dominates and conscience takes a back seat. So, if you wish to go deep in spirituality, be extremely aware of your conduct and the voice of your conscience. Now, about meditation. Witnessing your senses and thoughts and contemplating on God are the basics of meditation. Now, when your stomach is empty, put an alarm for 20 minutes and sit in perfect silence. Keep your spine erect. Witness your body and mind. Think of all pervading God. Imagine with incoming breath you are absorbing the divinity. With outgoing breath you are becoming one with the divine dimension. Continue to meditate joyfully on the eternal, all-pervading God. You may experience occurrence of certain gaps. You may get fully absorbed in the higher dimension for a moment. Then suddenly you regain your senses. These are joyful moments of meditation which will give you deep insight into the realm of God. Last item. Some friends have said they have been doing meditation for a very long time, but after a stage they are not finding any depth in it. As already explained, the objective of meditation is self-realization. Unless you focus on self and God, you can't proceed. Secondly, if you don't modify your conduct and remain engrossed in money, status, relations, properties, etc., and don't live spirituality moment to moment, it is not feasible to control your mind and tap those subtle vibrations of divinity which are required for meditation. We are now closing this session. Namaskar. Asato ma sadgamaya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया.